up, peeps? It's your girl, Dash. Come back to your girl takes Will. It's that time again, guys. It's movie news time, and I have quite a few things I want to get off of my chest that we need to discuss. And some of these things I feel like you all might have something to say in the comment section. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. First thing I want to just go ahead and kind of break down is, of course, movie releases again. It seems like I have to always start with them first before I get into also the most meat of the actual video. One thing I'm hearing whispers about, and it just seems to be kind of a trend, and just seems to be going in this narrative, is a lot of movies, being, of course, sent to on demand. Being pulled where we're not open. A lot of theaters tried to open up. It's just not working, and they're closing them back up. Case in point, when I'm talking about movies, I'm talking about one in particular, and it's No Time to Die. Now, I'm hearing things where they're stating, we already know it's supposed to come out in November, and I was all hyped and excited, but then they moved it to April 2021. So I'm like, okay, a lot of movies have already been moved. It is what it is. Now, little birds are stating that it's a possibility that they might decide to put it on demand. Now, I'm going to tell you like this. I know that budget was over 200 million, like 250. I like to know if they're going to send it on demand, where is it going to go? Who's vying for it the most? And I would feel like most likely say maybe Netflix, for sure, probably Netflix, maybe Apple. I don't know if Amazon. I really feel like Netflix, maybe Apple will probably be the highest ones in regards to this. But the fact that budget's that high, I don't know if that money scale is going to fit their narrative. We saw what happened with Tenet. They thought, and I'm going to put it like this, sometimes the egos really they're humbled. And what happened was, even though it came out, it made some good money. Probably definitely made more money overseas, because a lot of places overseas probably have opened up. USA, we're not doing so well in this instance. It didn't, reap the money that it made, and I knew it would, because I know that was over 200 million as well. So they're not going to be able to make that type of money, back when we don't have most theaters open. Some people are very hesitant to go out. I am included. I said all the time, I want people to be safe as much as I want to be in the theater like everybody else, because I'm a movie buff. I love to go to movies literally damn near every weekend if I could do it. Sometimes, that is possible depending on what kind of movies are coming out that month. But with us dealing with COVID, it's a totally different, situation. And when it comes to individuals' health, my health, and others around me, I'm not going to put individuals in harm's way, excuse me. So the thought of them considering it has not been anything written in stone. Let me just kind of make sure I'm clarifying myself, but it's being considered. And it makes you wonder if they don't feel even comfortable for it to come out in April, because who's to say next year will be, back, as they say, to normal. There's no normalcy, honestly, ever in regards to how this stuff is just, turning out. And these, just the scale we're dealing with, the numbers are still going up. There's nothing in sight showing that this is stopping anytime soon. And it's just, honestly, us having to find ways to deal with this. I don't know, there's no way to say even the word adjusting to it, whatever, but just doing our everyday life, we're having to make adjustments. And when it comes to certain things that we're used to doing on a regular basis, this is one of those things we're not going to be able to do. So I'm curious to see, and I'm going to keep my eyes open, and ears in regards to any type of information about this being considered for that. Right now, it still says April 2nd, 2021. But again, a couple of things are about to be coming off that's going to see and change the dynamic of knowing if they're able to kind of get a hold of this going into next year, into next summer. Because a lot of movies have been shifted to next year. Some movies have been pushed to a year later, going into 2022. So I just don't know what to think of it, but it's in the end, we're getting used to. I know a lot of streaming services are just like having a field day. They're just like loving the fact that people, of course, are enjoying their services. So if they get these particular movies, these hits like this, they're going to take it and they're going to go and grab it, whatever. As fans of this is a movie I specifically would prefer to watch in the theater. But maybe by April, who knows? To say, I'm still debating about seeing, honestly, Wonder Woman on Christmas Day. I don't even go out on Christmas Day. I like to enjoy Christmas movies all throughout the day in my home. I already said it's a staple of Christmas Story, whatever. So I'm still conflicted. I haven't made my decision yet, whatever. By November, I'll probably decide, whichever. But yeah, these are things that normally I didn't have to think about. I would just do. You got to think about it. Just please, people, be careful out there. That's just, it is what it is. So with that, when moving on, we have a couple of them that have been moving. I just kind of wanted to note the dates. Another one that I'm hearing definitely has been moved and that is Ghostbusters Afterlife. Now, I had a feeling because we hadn't seen anything since they showed us, the teaser trailer of sorts, like a teaser, and then they showed us like the first trailer where you get a bit of understanding, and I figured we'd get one more trailer, whatever, but then they won't give us too much away. We already know we have, of course, a new cast, but then we have some of our, original cast from the original film coming back, which I'm so excited to see. The only person who was missing was Rick Moranis. I was so bummed that he's not going to be in it. But yes, I'm excited for that movie. That trailer had me just, the nostalgia kicked in, and I think before I even go see it, I'm definitely going to watch the other ones before I go. But the date it was March 2021. Now we have listed as June 11th, 2021. They just moved it a couple of months. They're probably feeling maybe by, again, summer of next year, things might be looking a little bit better. The theaters might be feeling better. I'm just going to say what I'm going to say. Individuals need to follow what they're telling in regards to staying in, protect yourself, protect others and all that. Then hopefully we get a little bit more of a handle on this. Then this can happen. But honestly, I don't feel confident. A lot of people out here are very strong-willed and strong in their feelings and convictions about the way things are going on out here and all that. And when that happens, this is going to continue to escalate. It's just pretty much what it is. So I won't hold my breath for this one. You never know. This might end up on demand, some sort of streaming services, whichever, it is what it is. Now, Candyman, this one hurt me to no end because this was supposed to come out actually a couple months back to September, but they decided to move it to August, was it 27th, 2021. So we have to wait a full freaking year, just about, a little bit less than a year, but a year to me, because it seems like it's going to feel like forever. Before I can see this, I can see the epicness of Yaya, Abdul, Mateen, Tiana Paris, and also, of course, the just king of it all, Tony Todd. I'm just like, oh, but, again, it is what it is. So, yeah, that one. And then I was wondering when they were going to put it, because I did talk about this a couple of weeks ago, because of where they're going to, note it in regards to what month. They can't do October. We already know what's coming out in October next year, and that's Halloween Kills. And could you imagine? Not to say there's nothing wrong with good competition between the two, but I would have been doing a double feature the same day. Only people will be wondering, well, which one did you see first? But needless to say, I'm excited. I'm glad they're coming out a little bit earlier so they can, make that money and all that, and people can just enjoy it. I'm gonna have my shirt. I'm gonna be here to rep for it. You already know how I feel about the Candyman. You already know how I feel about Tony Todd. I've posted a picture many times. I wonder if I should put it up again. I won't do y'all like that. Obviously, you all have seen me post a picture of me with him during one of my, fan convention things I've gone to see him. He's so sweet. So yes, looking forward to it. I'm excited. The trailer did it. I just really see, Nia DaCosta do her thing as the director with this one. So I'm here for it. So with that said, another one I want to bring up that I was really surprised about, and I was really kind of surprised because I figured it was going to be 2 more and we would be done. This has to do with Fast and Furious franchise. We're already excited and hyped, well, not everybody, I'll speak for myself, for F9, Fast and Furious 9. That was supposed to come out this year, but then they moved it. Now, I will say this, similar to how Christopher Nolan felt. I remember Buddy Boy Ben was, that ego kicked in, like, no, we're gonna stick to our guns, let's keep it over. But then the powers that be saw, like, no. The amount of money y'all put into this, how much billions of dollars the franchise has already made, they want to make sure they recoup that money. And every time these movies come out, as much as time goes on, to some people being very cheesy, still effective, the people come out and it still brings in a bank. Now, the date for that one is now going to be May 28th, 2021. Happy birthday month. Happy birthday to me. But now we're getting what looks like to be a Fast and Furious 10-11. Now, when I talked to you all last time, it was supposed to be just be a 9 and 10, and that was going to be it. But I remember Vin Diesel says a possibility they might break it into 2 pieces. So now it looks like it's going to be a 2-part. So we're going to get some of it in 10 and then the rest in the 11. Now, due to the fact that the date has changed since the movie came out and it took the place of what would have been Fast and Furious 10, now we don't know when 10 is coming out or 11. So I'm going to have to keep tabs on those dates. I'm definitely going to be here. I've been here since the beginning. I'm going to watch them all out. I'm curious to know exactly what they're going to do with 10, 11. And we've done a couple of 2-parter films, if y'all remember, it was a Hunger Games. Definitely with Avengers, Infinity War and Avengers, Endgame. So 2-parters, they're not done often, but they could be considered effective, for the movies Harry Potter as well. So, yeah, because I love the last one. I installment, it wasn't a 2-part of Harry Potter. It's one of my favorites to watch. So, I'm curious to see what the storyline is going to be, how it's going to be tying in, You know, we're going to probably get some of our, cast members probably come back like Hobbs and Shaw. You know, Justin Lin's supposed to direct it. I'm here for that. So I really feel like he's going to bring the epicness in 10 and 11. So, and it's kind of fitting for it to be him to finish it off, right? Plus, we're going to get spinoffs. I'm here for the girls getting one led with Michelle Rodriguez doing a damn thing. I'm such a fan of her. So I'm here for it. I'm here to see them in on a good note. Don't make the last two so freaking cheesy and storyline. Please, types and stuff, definitely give me my action. Give me my rides. People talking about, they might go to space. And I'm like, I didn't, find anything funny about it, but it's just people want to just be on cheesy. It's like, it is what it is. But the main ones who always talk smack about it be the main ones watching it. They might not go around you, but they watch it now, they're at home, whatever. So it's like, talk all you want. That's why Vin Diesel's the one who keeps making these movies and making bank while we're all over here watching them. Don't got bank like that in our it is what it is. Sorry about the shade, but it's true. So yes, I will keep, like I said, tabs on if we get some dates soon with this. It's probably not, but maybe so, because dealing with the COVID pandemic, people have, some of these, companies have to make these dates now to set their stuff in, since everything's truly being pushed back now. So it's almost like they don't want to play with that. I know other companies, definitely Disney, all they're dealing with Marvel, everything is being shifted. So I'm here for it. I'm down. Ain't like nothing I can do about it, but still, I'm here for it. I'm ready to see it. I'm ready to see number 9. So, moving on from that. So, let's go ahead and just get into some other stuff now. I want to talk about a little bit of little movie updates now, for sure, in regards to little certain things going on with Justice League. Zack Snyder's little baby. I'm excited for it. We know it's coming out on HBO Max. I've been got my HBO Max. I'm here for it. I'm ready to see it. Oh my God, just the salvation of it all. I'm salivating just thinking about it, because I do like DCEU. So I'm really, really looking forward to seeing him put his part in. I know a lot of people are just so here for it. This is another one I would have preferred to see in the theater, but it is what it is. So, but a good thing I said, I was joking, but I was dead serious. Comfort of my own home. I don't have to, I can't drink nothing. I don't want to miss anything like people were during Endgame, whatever, and all that. Sitting there for the damn near 3 hours and all that. This one, pause. Bathroom, get another drink, whatever, and all that, and back to it. That's going to be the part I will actually be happy about. But overall, I'm just looking forward to seeing it. Now, I hear that Jared Leto will be coming back to reprise his role as the Joker. Really interested in that. Now, when I think about that, I say when you see the trailer, you get a little bit of breadcrumbs. They think they're slick. I'm looking forward to seeing, we're going to get a little bit of a confrontation between him and Batman. You saw what happened when they did the Suicide Squad film with him on the hood of the car, with him and, and Harley, So I'm curious to see how he ties in with this. Truthfully, it's going to be very interesting to me. I'm here for it. Another person I'm excited to see that's coming back for doing some reshoots is Deathstroke, which is played by Joe Manganiello. I can never say his name right. I'm so sorry. It's a mouthful. But needless to say, I'm here for that. Now, we only got to see little bits and pieces of him, in the previous film. I'm just Batman vs. Superman, but I'm just really, really wanting to see more Deathstroke. That is a character I'm here for. I definitely loved him. Previously done by Manu Bennett and all that, but it's just something about Joe. I just feel like he could bring it, and I just feel like if we get a little bit more reshoots, they'll probably show him a little bit more, being in within his character and all that. That is a possibility that they'll flush out that character, and he might get a movie. Because I said it, I would like to see him do a movie for Deathstroke. I really hope that people really feel him and vibe to him when we see Justice League, and if they get a lot of excitement and a lot of feedback about that, they might see the potential, and maybe in the course of a year or two, whatever, we might hear something about them probably considering in development about a Deathstroke film, because that's long overdue. And I really think, I don't see why not. I really don't see why not. I'm really, really hoping that we get that. So I'm just excited for those two. I know Ben Affleck and also Ray Fisher have come back to do a couple of reshoots as well. So we don't got much time, y'all. It comes out, they said HBO Max, and I'm thinking hopefully early spring. I don't think we really is it March? I don't know if it's March, April. I could be off by the dates or whatever. I don't know if they did. I really feel like they did, and I'm just kind of not remembering. It's always hard for me to remember so many dates. My brain can only hold so much to remember every little date for everything. But I think it is early. I don't remember saying anything summer, but I know it's coming, and I think they said around March. So I'm hoping I'm still correct about that. If I'm incorrect, correct me in the comments. I have no problem with that. Please do. So I'm just looking forward to this. The more and more things I'm hearing about people coming on board, reshoots, whatever, and all, it's getting me even more freaking hyped to see this. It's like, I swear to God, it's going to be just how I feel about certain shows. Like when Game of Thrones come on at a certain time, don't call me. I don't know you. Don't be offended. You already know how I am. This shouldn't be a surprise to you. Leave me alone. I'm going to be all engulfed in this. I'm going to try my best not to be, tweeting or whatever, but I have a feeling a lot of people are going to do it, whatever. Not knowing me, I'm probably watching, and then I'll come back and say my little spill at the end, whatever. But I'm going to have something to say online after it. I might even post a live little feed after I watched it just to put a couple of my thoughts. But a lot of us are going to have a lot to say about that goddamn movie, but I'm here for it. This is another one I'm here for, and this has to do with the prequel for Mad Max. Now, you already know how I feel about Mad Max, Fury Road when it came out, starring Charlize Theron and Tom Hardy. Epicness. I'm just like, it was so good. It won a couple of awards. I remember talking about this off and on earlier in the summer, how I was excited about them possibly doing a prequel for Furioso, played by Charlize Theron. Then I hear they are going to do one, but with the prequel, it's going to be her more, with her origin story, more of a younger version of her. When I found out Anya Taylor-Joy is going to be at the helm, I'm here for it. I am a fan of her. Of course, everybody loved her in The Witch. I really enjoyed her in Split. So I am so excited she's going to be attached to this. So let's kind of get into a couple of things that she noted about this, because she spoke recently on a podcast, and I want to kind of put that out there. She's excited, like I said, about the role. So this is what she says. She says, I fell in love with Furiosa, the way that Charlize presented her. She did such an incredible job, and it was so beautiful. I can't even think about trying to step into her shoes. It has to be something different, because it just can't be done. Now, I know a lot of people are kind of bummed that Charlize Theron won't be in this prequel. And I know in the sense that's because the actual director stated he does not want to do any de-aging scenes like that. And I said that I can understand, because I know a couple other things that came out. I know the recent film, of course, with Robert De Niro, where they de-aged him, whichever. And at times it looked okay, but sometimes you can see it and it just takes away from the film. It's just like, oh God, that's just that de-aging technology just... I don't know about that. So they're just choosing to stay far away from that, and there's nothing wrong with that. That means that she's not going to be aged too much, that Anya Taylor-Joy can physically do the part, show her a little bit aged up a little bit as a more older adult, whichever, and then it pretty much is what it is. It needs to be done in the film. Now I know also who's going to be in the film is Chris Hemsworth and Yaya Abdul Mateen. I'm just like, Yaya, you just a busy boy. I mean, I've been following for a minute, and of course he was definitely front and center for me in The Watchmen, and of course, being in Aquaman, and then him being, of course, at the helm of, Candyman. So I'm happy for him. Chris Hemsworth, I can't say enough about him. He's hilarious. I love me some him. So I'm looking forward to Thor 4. But needless, this is going to be a nice cast. I'm wondering who else will be in this. I really am looking forward to getting the backstory of Furiosa, because the way it was set up in Fury Road, her going back to, find her people, and then them explaining to her the stuff that happened over the years, whichever, is only a few of them left, and her walking away, dropping her, robotic hand, whatever, and it's that long build up to that cry, and that anger, like a cry, scream. It was just, that one scene right there was just so much, whichever, because it's just like, she was robbed, of so much, from, being taken and basically, coming back to find nothing. And then them all trying to start all over. So I really want to see how she came to be, how she grew up, being very strong-willed, female, and then empowered, and then how she ended up with that group of, just heinous individuals. So, and then trying to get the girls out, whatever, being used as little incubators. So, yeah, I'm really here for it. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to them saying when they're going to start filming. I want to see, like, shots from the scenes on set to see Anya Taylor-Joy in character. And I'm curious about Chris and Yaya's character within this. They're not giving us any other deets, but it's all good. I'm here for it. Keep a couple things under wrap. I don't even know everything, off the cuff, and that's nothing wrong. Hopefully, as time goes on, a couple things might be spilled, but if they keep it under wraps with that part, then it's fine. At least we know she's definitely playing that part. I know I want to see another Mad Max done with Tom Hardy. I know they said they want to do that, but I know with Tom and, Charlize being, busy, I don't know if she's going to be the next one. She said she would be down to be in one. And the way they left it open at the end, it's a possibility. So I'm definitely here for that as well. So this one, definitely keep tabs when I know more, you all will know more. So moving from that. Now this one I just want to bring up for nostalgic purposes, because I was here from the original, and now I'm looking forward to Jurassic, World, Dominion. Now this has to do, as you just heard me talking about Jurassic Park. aka Jurassic World. Somebody put out a picture of some of the cast, the original cast. I'm gonna post it up here if I haven't already. And just seeing the three people who started it all, Sam Neill, Laura Dern, and Jeff Goldblum. I'm really looking forward to seeing this movie. I will say I didn't particularly care so much for Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. I watched it when it came out, on cable. I was just like, I had no desire to go to the theater. Nothing against Bryce, Dallas Howard and Chris Pratt, but I just wasn't feeling it. I didn't mind the first one they did together, collaborate, whichever, and all that. I like their chemistry and all that's fine. But that one just left me with really undesired for it. Seeing that they're coming back in this one, and this is the sixth and final chapter to it, I'm here for it. And I'm really just getting on nostalgia because I just love the chemistry between these three, especially the way Jeff Goldblum was in the movie. I mean, oh my God, I was here for it. I might even post one of the pictures that's always synonymous with him when he talk about Jurassic Park. I just think he's just like, he really honestly, he's fine. And he's just, oh my God. I just gonna say, I know people are like, no, she didn't. Yes, I did. I know some people are like, I just don't understand that. Why? He's very charismatic, whatever, and when he speaks and all that. And there's so many movies I love of Jeff Goldblum going back to the day. One of the first films I actually saw him in was Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and then I remember him in Death Wish. So yes, my love for him goes way back. Then of course when he did Earth Girls Are Easy with at the time Gina Davis in The Fly. So yes, I have been following him for a long time. Faithful, Laura Dern as well, and Sam Neill. Over the course movies like Event Horizon. So yes, those three right there are a staple in my home when it comes to movies. So being that they're in this one, I'm here for it. I just wanted to bring it up because I'm just looking forward to this one. The date on this one is June 10th, 2022. Of course, it got moved. So it is what it is. I know they are finally resuming filming, I think, over in London, in England. So they're wrapping up. I think they have less than a month left, and then they'll be done. I think during the pandemic, and they shut down, I think they were just dealing with the situation with COVID and all that. All of them are back. The cast, the crew have gotten tested. I think they said, of course, negative. So they're going to finish it up. I think while they were halted, the director and all that have been working on, the back stuff like, the CGI, project some of the, editing and all that. And that's probably a good thing. So that means that they'll be able to finish up everything and come out and be ready on time. I hope by 2022 we can get back in the theaters because it's just going to be so nice to see this in the theater. I would really enjoy seeing the last installment to this franchise in the theater. So I'm looking forward to that. So moving on. Now this one, I just talked about it. I think I just talked about it last week, and this has to do with Don't Breathe 2. I can say we have a date. I'm excited, and it is August 2021. I don't have the actual date of the actual month, but at least I know what month and what year. But I'm glad that we do have this now. I'm excited because I was like, okay, it's finished. Stephen Lang had posted, it's a wrap. They actually finished this up. I will say this, not getting too much in regards to storyline. Storyline is still kind of tight-lipped. The mystery of not knowing and what it's entailed gives it even more excitement to it, so I don't even care. I'm excited for it, so I'm not even going to worry about that. I know some people are kind of bummed that Fede Alvarez is not, attached to this, but the person who actually wrote it with him, and I want to get his name correctly, Rodo Sayegas, actually wrote that one and this one, and he's directing this. So since he was involved with the first one, I'm not worried about all that. It really ain't that deep. Being that, like I said, he was attached to the first one, so I feel like he has an understanding of the film and where he wants to progress it with Stephen Lang's character. It's going to be fine. So don't be hindered by that. Fede Alvarez has other things he's working on. I'm here for anything he puts out ever since he did this Evil Dead. He's on my radar from here on out, so I'm not even worried about that. So this one, yes, I'm really looking forward to seeing this one. That first one, I mean, sometimes when I think about it, mind blown. Certain scenes in there were just like, and I mean just like that. Just if you had not seen that, I'm really hoping anybody who's watching this has seen that they understand what I'm talking about, because you could totally feel my pain on that. But it was done so good, and Jane Levy knocked that baby out of the park. I was feeling it because you already know people feel like certain individuals they can take advantage of and not realizing, don't believe what you see. And with this person, he couldn't see, and he rose to the occasion, and they wish they had never went into that house because just everything that started spiraling out of control, the ending, the overall scare for her. I mean, the anxiety I felt for her, because kept thinking she was never going to get away from him. The scene of her running away and him just everything about the thing. My anxiety was high. All of us in the theater, I will never forget it. We were just tripping. Like, is this bra gonna get away? And that's not the B word we really use, because we're just like, girl, if you don't get it together, but. It is what it is. But yes, I'm excited. August 2021. I look forward to a teaser sometime, maybe late spring, early summer for this one. Probably the ending of spring, whichever. Oh, I cannot wait. I'm looking forward to seeing if anybody else is in this. They might have a whole new cast, whatever, of course, but whatever. Nothing about Jane Levy being attached to this. Now, they could be simple and try to be slick and put her up in this bad boy. That would be epic. I would totally be here for that, and I would definitely note that in Twitter and make a comment to the director like, no, you didn't, but thank you for that. So, moving on. Now, since we were talking about Fede Arvis and doing with Evil Dead, got a little bit more information about the reboot, and I'm excited. Now, a lot of people didn't particularly care about the reboot. I will say I wasn't all that happy about it because I am a fan of the original franchise, all the way up to Army of Darkness. But when I saw the trailer, Jane Levy, in the midst of it playing Mia, that trailer had me stoked. I went to the theater. We all were losing our minds. It was really the blood, the gore, bloodbath. I was here for it, and she, rose to the occasion, ended up living at the end. We literally clapped at the end, at the end, all the way at the end of credits when we saw a little shadowing of Bruce Campbell, Groovy. He's another one of my favorite horror icons, whatever. I'm Not Worthy. I've met him too. He's awesome, and he's hysterical in person. So this one, I'm going to go ahead and kind of knock it down. The director for this one is Lee Cronin. I'm excited about what he's going to be doing, what he's in store. So let me kind of say this is called also Evil Dead Rise. So let me get that noted as well. Now for this one, they says it will feature a female heroine. It says in a city somewhere, possibly in a high-rise apartment building. It says in regards to this one, he hints also that this returns back to the trilogy horrific, roots, with it being more horror than laugh. I know a lot of people said it was more horror with the first one. That is true. Definitely got a little bit of horror-esque, but it was definitely a little bit of funny laughs within the second, whichever I like. And that's probably why I like Evil Dead 2 more so, whichever, because I was fine how it kind of slightly balanced out with that. And being that Bruce is at the helm as Ash, he makes it epic anyway, so I didn't really care about all that. Now, I will say this is another thing Cronin stated. He says, I'm confident I'm going to do something that's both familiar and refreshing. I'm going to deliver a roller coaster of horror. That's what the goal is here. He says, relentless, not stopping to explain too much. He says it needs to be extremely visceral, highly entertaining, properly scary. He says to push boundaries, that's important as well. I love it. Highly entertaining, properly scary. Key. Properly scary. I like that. Damn. So yes, I am definitely here to see this reboot. Also, another person who has something to say about this, and I have no problem with that, is coming from our love of Ash, Bruce. He says in an interview, he says it's going to be a woman in charge. He also noted, who's trying to protect her family. He says this won't be the first time, of course, a woman has taken on an awkward dead. Of course, like I said, Jane Levy playing, Mia. Then he says, Campbell says the sequel takes place when the book gets around. He says a lot of people run into it, and it's another story, which implies new people will re-encounter the Book of the Dead and Evil Dead Rise. And that's a good setup, because if that's the case, that book is going to get around. That means it can cause, us to get different type of narrators dealing with different type of people in different settings, as opposed to just as part. This could just be the center, the focal point for the moment in this movie. And then when they do another one after this one, depending on where the book lies at and whose hands, whatever, moving it on, whatever. So you never know. This can be one of those ones where the movie can go on for a couple of years. Nothing maybe like Fast and the Furious, but maybe another 2, possibly 3, like maybe even like Hellraiser did with like 5, 6, or 7. I'm trying to remember how many they had, like Lord. But yes, that is a potential. If they do it right with the way they're writing up the storyline on this one to go into, because I know once they do this one, I know they're itching to do a third and probably even a fourth. So yeah, I'm down. I'm liking what I'm reading. I'm hoping you all are vibing. Definitely comment about this one below, how you all feel. We are in Halloween season, October. I plan on seeing Evil Dead next week. I have my last week lined up of what I'm watching. I've been posting it every day, which movies I watch in the evening. And this one, Evil Dead 2, will be next week, counting down to actual Halloween. So yes, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. I'm just ready for them to start on this, and I'm ready to know who's going to be cast. So I'm ready for them to get the ball rolling at the part, so I can see who's going to be in it, so I can start kind of getting idea, like, okay, sizing up the people in the movie, and see what other movies they've done. I'm like, okay, please rise to the occasion, because I said no pressure but pressure, because us Evil Dead fans, yeah, we're gonna judge, and I am. So moving for that. So this is about some new stuff that's films in the works I want to talk about. And the first one has to do with something that Scarlett Johansson is going to be a part of, and she's also producing, and I'm kind of, intrigued with this one. It's going to be titled Bride. going to be through Apple, and let me read a little bit of a synopsis with this one. I'm excited about the director, and I'll get into that in a second. The plot follows a woman created to be an ideal wife. It says the singular obsession of a brilliant entrepreneur. When she rejects her creator, she's forced to flee her confined existence, confronting a world that sees her as a monster. It is on the run that she finds her true identity, her surprising power, and the strength to remake herself as her own creation. Excuse me. Yes, love that. Gives me definitely a little bit of Bride of Frankenstein type of vibe from that, just for the fact that it's named Bride, and just reading that synopsis definitely is what I'm getting from this. What is the movie? Oh gosh, there's a movie that came out years ago. I might post a picture up here because you all might be thinking the same thing if anybody's watching this. I cannot remember the name of it, but Jennifer Beals was in it, and also stars Sting. It's not Resident. I'm going to put the poster up here somewhere. I'm going to find that, whichever, because just reading that synopsis is a little bit of this, of how I'm interpreting this, whichever, like similar and similarity with the storylines, what I'm getting from this movie. So I'll do that. I'll make sure it's up here somewhere so you all, and if you all have never seen that, that's one of those ones back in the day I actually loved, because I was such a Jennifer Beals fan, you know, definitely around that time. She did Flashdance and then this, so I loved it. So with this one, I'm also excited because of the actual director who's at the helm of this, and that's Sebastian, I want to say Lelio. He did one of these movies I did last year that I put on my top 10 list of favorite films, and that was the movie Disobedience. I starred Rachel Weisz and Rachel Adams. I love that movie. So, and I just love that he does a lot of female, you know, gendered, you know, type of films, whichever, and all that, and a lot of people kind of, you know, we've seen a lot of male dominated. I wanted to be even killed when I go out and watch movies anyway, and I say it's going to be a long ways away, whatever, but I'm here for these types of films sometimes too, because I watch everything, so don't even try to come for me in the comment section, because you ain't going to like the response you're going to get. This right here has me very excited about the potential of what he's going to do with this. Most of those films he did with Disobedience and Gloria, definitely more on the drama aspect. This one's definitely going to be very just probably drama, suspenseful. I don't know if you're going to clearly say thriller yet, but I feel definitely drama and suspense. So totally here for that. I'm excited at the prospect of this. So I'm keeping tabs on it. They said Apple. I will say this. It's Apple, and then also A24 off the cuff. Definitely already has me enthused right there, because I like a lot of the films they put out. I don't have Apple TV. It is like something else I'm going to have to get. It's going to probably be a ways away. Hopefully this is something that comes out next year, maybe 2022. So this is something in the beginning stages. So by then I might decide, okay, I'll go get it and I'll just watch this, whichever. So that is the point, because I really am feeling this, and I really want to continue enjoying some of his work. And if that means I have to get it, then I will consider doing that. So moving on from that. Now this one, I'm definitely excited, especially at the prospect of the cast that's in this and the person that's directing this. And this has to do with something I talked about that was in the works based off of a novel called The Journal for Jordan. I talked about this almost a year ago, because I know at the helm of this, Michael B. Jordan is attached to this. And I'll get into the synopsis in a second, but I'm also excited because I know Denzel is going to be directing this. Now, he hasn't directed anything as of late. I love when he did Antoine Fisher and also The Great Debaters. Love The Great Debaters. So the fact he's going to be behind the camera again. And he also directed an episode of Grey's Anatomy, if I'm not mistaken. I remember seeing a picture that popped up through Debbie Allen on social media a couple years back, whatever, and all, and showed him behind the camera in the scene, whatever. So just honing that crap on the director, and on top of that, probably doing a TV show, because he'd already done a directing of a movie. So probably seeing the difference in the way things are done, because it's probably done definitely differently in regards to directing a movie as opposed to a show. So definitely a learning curve. He is one of my favorite actors of all time. I mean, I've been watching him since St. Elsewhere. I mean, I can't say enough about Denzel. So the fact that he's going to be behind the camera, I'm very excited about this. Now, the reason I'm also excited is because there's a female that's in this that I'm really loving what she's putting out right now. Her name is Shantae Adams. She's going to be actually in this. And let me kind of get into the actual synopsis. It says this, of course, about Journal for Jordan. Now, this is definitely, like I said, this is based off of a memoir. It says the film tells the story of Pulitzer Prize winning journalist Kennedy's love affair, with First Sergeant Charles Monroe King. King kept a journal full of, of poignant life lessons for their newborn son Jordan while deployed overseas. He was killed in Iraq in 2006 when Jordan was just 7 months old, but his spirit lives on in his messages of love to Dana and Jordan. So it's going to be very interesting. And like I said, the character, Dana Kennedy, is going to be played by Shantae Adams. And I'm excited. Now, she did the movie Roxanne. Loved her. But she did another movie I really enjoyed. It came out back around Valentine's Day, and it was called The Photograph, which starred her, Issa Rae, and also Lakeith Stanfield. And she was just mesmerizing in it. Her scenes in that film were so freaking good. I love a scene specifically, really quickly, was a scene where she has her daughter with her, but then she's leaving, and she wouldn't tell the guy. She's asking. He dropped her off at the bus station with all that, and I instinctively knew that he had an idea. That's a possibility that was a shot because she kind of left. They had been together and all that. He went to some other girl and she was heartbroken. All that time has passed. She lost a loved one. She came back. And she's waiting in there, and she starts to cry, and her little daughter's trying to, make her feel bad. It was just, oh my God, that scene alone. And I remember the people knowing we were feeling it, and I just felt for her in that scene. I just feel like we're going to definitely get the emotions from her in this one, especially when you read what I just said in regards to what happens to her love, getting killed, while he's deployed. And then, of course, seeing her, having to read these, little, life lessons or whatever he's from the journal, whichever. We're gonna get a lot of emotion from her, so I'm here to see what she's gonna bring to the table with this, and I'm just happy she's getting more and more roles. That's gonna be good. I'm excited for that. I know she has some other stuff in the works, so I'm gonna probably start keeping a little bit more tabs on what she's putting out there, because she's just she's just starting up. I think she's also in Bad Hair, if I'm not mistaken. I really need to watch that. So she's getting her name out there, and I'm liking so far the work she's putting out, so I look forward to seeing more from her. So this is one of those ones I'm definitely looking forward to. Michael B. Jordan's a busy bee. I'm still here for Tom Clancy's Without Remorse. I know he already wrapped that up. We already saw him in Just Mercy. It came out last fall. So I'm looking forward to this, and Denzel doing his thing, because I know he's busy as well. So I will keep tabs when I know exactly when this is coming out. So moving on from that, the last one, I'm excited about this one as well. This is going to be through Netflix, and it seems like our boy Jamie just staying busy, and I think he likes working and partnering up with Netflix. After Project Power, it's just like, okay, bro. So this is something he's working on. It's going to be considered a vampire comedy. I was just like, okay, vampire comedy. Okay, he can do everything. He can do any type of genre, so it's all good. I'm here for it. I love when he brings on the funny anyway. Let's go back to the days of, In Living Color, Shanae. I mean, is it Shanae? I'm getting confused with Martin, excuse me. I cannot remember what his name is on that. Don't fault me for that. I might put it up here and all to correct myself so I don't get judged, in my comedy for my black folks. But yes, on that, him having Jamie Foxx show, whatever, just ever since, he's been on that, I just been here for him and his work. But this one, I'm looking forward to, and let me get into this one, because also in regards to who's going to be directing this as well. It's called Day Shift, and it states, in regards to this, it says he is a blue-collar pool attendant in the San Fernando Valley area. He says, who works hard every day to provide for his 8-year-old daughter. However, the pool job is merely a cover for his real money-making gig as a vampire hunter. Already feel like he's going to have a lot of shenanigans going on, all the while trying to keep out of trouble, not getting killed, because he has a daughter to raise. So I can already feel the antics with him doing the hunting, and then also the antics he's going to have with his daughter unbeknownst to him, what daddy's doing. I can already see the dynamics there. Also, the person who's directing this is J.J. Perry. This is actually going to be his directing debut. He's mostly known for stunt work. Been attached to, Bloodshot, the movie Warrior, definitely John Wick, and what else? I'm trying to think. Also, he's going to be attached to Fast and Furious 9 as well. So, and that's just, like I said, to name a few. The body work and stunt work, whichever. He goes back to, I think, the mid-70s, dealing in martial arts, training, whichever. So, the brother has a background. So, right there, that lets me know, first off, besides that, he's going to be definitely bringing me to action. So I feel like it's going to happen. So I already know Jamie's probably getting cut, whatever. I already know he's been getting cut, because I know he's going to be working on, some sort of biopic, whatever, for Mike Tyson. So, I don't know which one is getting lined up. I don't know if he's working on that first, or he's working on this movie, Netflix, secondary. So it doesn't matter. I'm just looking forward to both. So, but yes, this is going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing who else will be in this right now. I'm excited for this. Like I said, I loved him in Project Power. So to see him doing something else with Netflix is really good. I think he has something else going on as well, but I don't have enough details on that just yet. But yes, I'm here for it. I love me some Jamie Foxx, movies, music. The brother, he's just doing a damn thing. And I'm totally, as I say, here for it. So that is it, you guys. Comment below. Let me know what you think about anything I discussed, because I really want y'all to dig in here. Don't hold back. I love to have a little extra back and forth with you guys in the comment section. So with that said, I hope you enjoyed my movie news. I'll see you on the next one.